Got the shit in it.
From the 757 to the 713, where you know we stay whipping through the streets. Some will call it swinging bang, some will call it slow ride. I just call it cruising to the beat.
It's the Cruising Podcast.
Cruising to the beat.
Da, 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 da. It's the Cruising Podcast.
Cruising to the
Da, 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 da.
Yo, welcome to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Cruz, and today is Tuesday, March 11th. Yes, we are there. We are here, and we are everywhere. Welcome back to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. So I'm just going to get right to it and tell you guys, hold on, let me make sure I don't do stupid stuff like that. I'm just going to get right out and tell you guys, this episode is completely spoiler field. It's going to be spoiler completely field. I'm just letting it be known right now. We are talking about DareDevil Born Again episode 1 and 2. Why didn't I do it last week? I don't know. I was tired. Okay. I was tired all week. You know what I mean? Being slammed and you know what I mean? It's just, it's no excuse. You know what I'm saying? For next couple weeks, quite a few weeks actually, we will be talking about DareDevil Born. We will take a whole day or whole episode out to be talking about DareDevil Born Again. But first, where you can find the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, and anywhere you can find your podcast needs. That's where you can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, you can find the latest updates to the show. It's on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Finance. And if you're listening to this and you're new to the pod, yes, I do have a Patreon. I'm starting a mini series, not even a mini series, probably just a full series. I'm calling it Stories from the Wood. And if you guys get a chance, definitely go check it out. So I'm not going to say what it's about, but on the Patreon, if you pay $3 per month, you can go listen to some of the stories because they are going to be loosely based on true events. Not loosely, they're going to be very close to true events. Okay, the only loosely part of it is if it's not my own story. That's pretty much where I'm at with it. So, yeah, that's pretty much what's going on the Patreon side of things. Also, I got to talk about the LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith drama with a little mixture of the Charles Barkley and Kendrick Perkins drama. I just, you know what I mean, that's where the Patreon's going right now. So if you guys go check it out, yes, like I said, $3 a month gets you access to 56 extra episodes of the Cruising Podcast. Pretty much personal things and personal lists and things like that. We're going to have a lot more, like I said, it's going to be a lot more content coming. I'm not playing. I am locked in. I'm not joking anymore. I'm locked in. I'm locked all the way in. So, you know what I'm saying? Put the seatbelt on and we are locked in. I won't do that ever again in my lifetime. I'm sorry. That's on me. I take full responsibility for what I just did right there. It was too much. I felt like it was way too much energy coming into I was coming in hot. I came in a little hot and I take full blame for that. I'm so sorry for the inconvenience of your ear holes or even your eye holes. You know what I'm saying? I'm very, very upset with myself about this. I'm very sorry. But once again, I'm letting you guys know right now before anything happens, I will be talking about DareDevil Born Again episodes 1 and 2. And it's full of spoilers, especially major spoilers. I'm just letting it. Hold on, let me make sure this is. Why does it look weird? Yeah, there's nothing but spoilers. I just wanted to be understood before we start this bad boy because it is on Disney Plus. If you get a chance, go check it out. It's on Disney Plus. If you haven't watched the original series of DareDevil, you are tripping. You need to go there and watch that first so you can get a little bit more context of why the beginning sequence happened in the original DareDevil. I mean, in this new DareDevil Born Again series. Oh my goodness, hold on. All right, circle time, baby. So, I'm letting you know this is the final warning. I know I keep saying this, but this is the final warning towards the Daredevil Born Again review / whatever analysis. I'm like a sports analysis. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do some analysis on the Daredevil. Ha ha. Wee. Okay, continuing on. So we're just gonna go off. Just gonna start this off with a bang. Literally. Foggy gets shot by Bullseye. Saw that coming. I wish they didn't do a whole teaser of the whole stairway fight scene. If they never showed, I'm glad I didn't really watch it. But the problem is that somebody put in one of their comments, especially not comments, but they put it as a post on their Instagram. Oh man, Foggy's cooked. And I'm like, Fuddruckers. Sorry, I can't curse for the first 10 minutes. I'm trying not to do that because apparently I got to trick the algorithm a little bit. So, I'm watching it and I'm just like, why would you tell us this? Like, why did y'all do this to me? And the way he got shot was pretty clean, dog. For Matt to hear the conversation, I think that what Disney so far is doing so far. What is going on with me today? Goodness gracious, I'm sorry, I got a little too excited. What Disney's doing so far is using Matt's ability, as everybody, if you don't know who Daredevil is a blind crime fighter who has ultra hearing and very good fighting skills. Actually, he's very violent. A lot of punches get thrown. Y'all think Batman's pretty violent? I think Daredevil and Batman send a lot of people to the hospital. A lot. The hospital bills are high in Hell's Kitchen. Trust me. But I think, to me, they keep saying, and I read this on IGN. I might be wrong if I've seen this on IGN, but they said Foggy's coming back next season. I feel like he's going to come back in like a vision or something, not as a whole like character. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think they would do something crazy like that. To watch the fallout afterwards is wild. My problem with what everybody's having a difficult issue with is like, oh my gosh, the fight scenes. I'm so sick of this shit. I'm sorry, I already messed it up. I'm sick of it. It's not right to me. It's like, y'all want a story, but you just want them to punch each other in the face the whole time without a story being told. And then be mad because there isn't enough action. Because like the original series didn't have its slow moments where there was a lot of monologuing going on. There's a lot of story building going on. We have to earn the fight scenes. I don't understand. We didn't earn that first fight scene. And I'm not gonna lie. I was listening to Comicast and they were right. That CGI on the roof was pretty. Yo, Disney needs to get their CGI budget up because that shit looks horrible sometimes. And I looked at it and he said the exact same thing I thought. I was like, yeah, the CGI looks pretty bad. I ain't gonna lie. The CGI looks that was pretty bad CGI on the roof. And what I loved about the original series, it just felt like it was a lot more grounded. There wasn't no like we needed to do any like special things with the background and we just needed them there. I still love the chemistry between Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. That diner scene had me stressed out. I was stressed out. But I like the diner scene because it's like, yo, respectfully, if you cross this line in the sand, I'm going to meet you there. I'm going to be right there when you get there. Before you even put your last toe across that line, I'm there. Each of them said that. And it's pretty much like, respectfully. Just letting you know, respectfully. I'm going to fuck you up if you cross this line. Like, that's just where that was. I like that. And also I like that Kingpin, like I'm saying, Kingpin's a habitual line stepper anyway. And so it kind of like when they were doing the diner scene, it kept looking like he kept getting closer to Matt. Like kind of like closing the quarters a little bit. And in Disney version of this Kingpin, he's actually super strong. I don't know if they're actually going to make that a thing this go around. We got to see Kingpin now twice as a DC why am I saying DC? MCU character? What the fuck happened to me? It's because I said Batman. That's what happened. It's because I said Batman. That's why I'm saying DC. Sorry. As an MCU character, we've already seen him twice. We've seen him in Hawkeye, where he has ultra strength. He's wearing the Hawaiian shirt and all the rest of that cool shit. And then we get to see him in Echo, where they kind of powered him down just a little bit. They kind of used his mind more than they did use his brute strength. And I hope that Echo somehow sneaks her way into this show. I also hope that Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and do I need to say this shit? Oh man, I possibly Iron Fist, possibly. I know not everybody was a fan of his. I thought the second season kind of redeemed him a little bit. Maybe. Okay, we're going to continue on. My bad. Maybe I'm just an optimist, but I hope all of them show up at some point. This is like a 16 episode show, so somebody got to show the fuck. You can't just do Matt versus Bullseye and fucking Muse and Kingpin for that many episodes. I'm sorry, you're gonna make the same mistake Punisher did by having too many fucking villains. I'd just like to say that I enjoyed that first fight scene. I did. I really did. I liked it because it showed that apparently Bullseye has endless amounts of fucking knives. He said, look, I remember the Office fight scene where I had to find just random shit to throw at this guy. And this time around, I'm going to be prepared. I'm going to have knives for him. And for Matt to take like 20 knives to the fucking chest and arm area is just other humanly type shit. He took a lot. And once he figured out, and I liked it because there's a consequence to him fighting Bullseye in this situation. For him not being Daredevil, there was a consequence. The consequence was he just lost his best friend. Actually, in that one scene, he lost both his best friends because he kind of cut Karen off after, he cut her off after Foggy dying. She tried to get in contact with him. He was just being mad. He was being the loner. He was being the emo kid in the corner. You know what I'm saying? But when you're sitting here, you're watching it, and he's listening to his friend take his last breaths of life, and we're sitting here watching. We're just like, yo, this is sad. Like, you want to sit here and just be like, this man is fighting the dude that possibly just killed his friend, and he's able to listen to his friend take his last heartbeats and his last breath and I mean, not just friend. Them dudes went through a lot of shit together. They're practically brothers. They're brothers without the blood attached to them. And the thing is, he's listening to him die the whole time. So I don't blame Matt for crossing the no-kill line. I'm sick of these. It's weird because that's what Punisher said. One of these days, you're going to have to cross the line. He said, one of these days, them motherfuckers are coming to kill you. And you're over here like, oh, I want to do Peter Pan. I want to put him in the hospital. They're just going to get right back out. Just like what Peacemaker said. You know why I don't have a Rose Gallery? Because I smoked all of them. That's pretty much what happened. And for Matt, I don't know. For Matt, it was like, it kind of came to fruition like, this hit too close to home. This is home. So he threw him off the roof after winning the fight. He threw Bullseye off the roof. Don't know how Bullseye survived falling off of a roof, being thrown off of it, literally. And in my humblest opinion, should have died. I don't know how the fuck he stayed alive, but he did. And when we sit here and we watch it, it's just like, damn, that was gruesome. That was heartless by Matt. But he just got done listening to literally his best friend, his brother, die. He listened to him die. And listened to Karen trying to bring him back to life. And he will not come back to life. The last heartbeat of him. He can literally hear that shit. And so in that situation, emotions would take over, and that's going to happen. And you can't blame Matt Murdock for that. You can't blame him because in that instance, he's not Daredevil. That's Matt Murdock that did that. And he blurred the line. The line got blurred right there. And so when you're sitting here, you're watching it, and you're trying to say, well, Daredevil crossed the line. No, Daredevil didn't cross the line. Matt Murdock, the lawyer, the best friend of Foggy Nelson, crossed the line. So when we sit around here and we watch this, and you want to sit here and say, well, man, Matt should have, or tried to kill him. I'm sorry, Matt tried to kill him. And so when you sit here and you're just like analyzing, like, oh, well, there's not enough action in episode 2. Well, of course, because he gave up the mantle of Daredevil, because he's blaming Daredevil for being the reason why he crossed that line. He's blaming Daredevil for Foggy getting killed, pretty much. That's what he's blaming. That's why we're not seeing the action. Of course, we're not going to see the action. The most action that we saw was is it Hector Avila? The fuck? Oh, I know why I did that. You know what I mean? White Tiger beating up fucking 2 undercover cops that were trying to shake down a junkie, and sadly didn't kill one of them, but the dude clearly was not the greatest of ballet dancers. He threw a punch, missed the guy, and just as unlucky as possible, a train just happened to come and splat. Over. That's it. And he's getting arrested. I'm a cop. Yeah. Like, what the fuck? I wish he knocked him out and kept him moving. That would have been great. Like, gone. Okay, so that's pretty much the most action we saw, and then the ending where Matt beats up the 2 cops. And I enjoyed it. I really loved this first 2 episodes. I think this was a story building. This was our story builders. You know what I'm saying? I think the 3rd episode is going to be another story builder. We're trying to figure out what this story is going to be about. Who are our villains and who are our protagonists and who are our antagonists? Clearly it's Kingpin. Clearly somehow, some way is going to be Kingpin. How he made that police commissioner bitch up from having a secret kid in Philly and somehow went to a Philly fucking place and got a damn cheesesteak. Come on now. Now we all know. And I'm glad that they said that he went to Geno's and he said it was nasty. We all know as Philadelphians that the best cheesesteaks that you can get in Philadelphia is either Delisandro's or the corner store. You're welcome. Go to a bodega. Bodega's going to make you the best cheesesteak you ever had in your motherfucking life. I promise you. You're welcome in advance. Now, you might leave with E. coli or salmonella? You might. But that's the chance you got to take. Okay, continuing on. And when he showed them the picture of, the secret child and the secret woman that I guess the police commissioner has, Bull bitched up very quickly because at the funeral beforehand, he was talking some cash money shit. Hey, I'm going to be here. He said, I'm going to make sure that you aren't he said, what was it? Something Vance? Do you know how long he was mayor? He had the shortest stint as mayor, and that was like 100 days or something crazy like that. And he was like, yeah. He said, I'm gonna make it shorter. I want to make sure you see it shorter. And then the next day, you put in your resignation. Why? That part of the story didn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. I was like watching. I was just like, I guess that made all the sense in the fucking world. Why would we do that? But I definitely was sitting here, I was just like, I like James Gandolfini's son doing big things too, man. It's great seeing him. Like, it's crazy because he's like a social media manager for Fisk, but it seems like Fisk kind of like keeps him at arm's length, but also is like, I kind of fuck with him, but I kind of don't fuck with him. I can't really trust him, but I gotta trust him a little bit because he's kind of running my youth movement. And for Wilson Fisk to become mayor is scary as shit for New York. And I love that they gave like a little bit of a teaser to, we got a guy swinging around in a spider suit, you know what I'm saying, with webs or whatever. Like that was cool that we got that little bit of a teaser. I wish we get a little bit of teaser of like, I got my ass whooped by a Native American woman on her homeland, and I had to come back here with my tail between my legs because I got my ass fucking whooped. That's what we should have been talking about. I just got my ass beat by somebody. Hey, by the way, before I fucking continue on, let's talk about Kingpin for a second. Kingpin's a dickhead. I don't know why he's not like seen as the worst of the villains, and let me tell you why. He has beef with a bunch of people that have disabilities. Have we noticed this? Have we noticed this by now? Like, he has a lot of beef with people with disabilities. Does he have something against people with disabilities? I really did. I'm sitting here watching. I'm like, huh. Like, I just thought about it like the other day. I was driving. I was like, yo, Kingpin has a lot of beefs with motherfuckers that got like that. He has really like lifelong beefs with people with disabilities. Like Echo, for example, is deaf. So he's like has to fight her or treated her like shit. Well, actually kind of treated her kind of good. Like, he kind of became like a stepdad to her. But I mean, he did kill her father, have her father killed. Let's just be real for a second. Okay. And my other one, of course, is Daredevil. He's blind. So he's fighting a blind guy. So now he has beef with him. And it's like eternal beef. I wouldn't be surprised if he wasn't born in July months as a cancer. Because that dude just has lifelong beefs for no fucking reason. Okay? For no fucking reason. And so I think he should be the biggest villain of all time, because he just like, I mean, I feel as though that he's not an ally. He's a piece of shit. So just, what's next? You know what I'm saying? You're gonna fight a guy that can't feel shit? Like, that just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand. It really bothers me. Like, he's gonna fight people. He's gonna fight like the Avengers of the five senses, but they only got one of them. Like, that's gonna be the Kingpin thing to do, is to fight all of them with the five. That's the five hands of senses or whatever. I don't know how to really fucking, if you want to make the word up for it, you do whatever you want. But the fucking Kingpin just likes to fight people with disabilities. And I really have a problem with that. I have a fucking big issue with that, actually. That's a big issue for me. I don't like it whatsoever. You know, I mean, yeah, that definitely needs to be talked about. I feel like that's not enough. That news or that type of thing is not being talked about enough, and it really bothers me. I think we really haven't had this discussion, and this should be like a lead discussion for sure, especially with people that call themselves allies. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just be real for a second. Like, that's a problem. So I think we need to talk about this. I think this needs to become a bigger issue, and I'm just gonna wait for you guys to bring it up. You know what I mean? Not me. I can't bring it up because I don't have any of those disabilities. You know what I mean? I have a lazy eye, but that's probably, I don't know if that's a disability or not. But yeah. That's pretty much where we're at with the Kingpin situation. He won the managerial vote or whatever, which is it really did coincide with looking like this dude is Trump. Like, if we're being honest, like, he looked like Trump. Like, everything about his campaign, like, dude never ran, he never held any office or anything like that. He's a crook, he's a felon, all the rest of the shit. Like, it's Trump. We're watching, and I know a bunch of conservatives are like, you fucking progressive liberal pussies. No, it's real life. It's real life imitated by art. And sadly, real life is way more crazier than the fucking art that's being made. That's the crazy part. Okay, continuing on. But yeah, man, he becomes mayor, which is cool. That's cool. But has problems with his wife after he got shot in the eye by Echo in Bulls in the Hawkeye series. I guess his recovery didn't go so well. He kind of made himself into a recluse, and Vanessa turned herself into the Lady Kingpin for real. Like, she became Lady Kingpin, and she was like, "Look, I mean, you dipped, and I had to go get some dick on the side. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? You left to go fight a Native American, came back with your ass whooped, and I can't have that. Yeah, it makes us look weak, and so I'm gonna find someone that doesn't look weak, and that's just what's gonna happen. That's what she did, and yeah, that's pretty much where we're at with that situation. We're gonna continue. We're gonna go back to that in a second. I like that she was at the inauguration party and was just like, I truthfully don't give a shit. I can care fucking. You just became an op for real. I ain't gonna lie to you. You just became the ops. So that could be also a big problem coming up later on. But continuing on, I've completely lost track of everything I was talking about. Okay, so with the Hector Ayala situation where they're talking about he murdered a cop and things like this, pretty much something that we see once again mirroring life, imitating art. We're watching this and the discovery of him being White Tiger. Clearly, this guy wasn't hiding that he was the White Tiger. Also, he wasn't hiding that the amulet actually makes him gives him special powers and shit like that. And also, how the fuck did the DA find out so damn quickly? Unless Cherry brought it to the not Cherry. Matt would have had to bring it up in Discovery at some point, or the DA sent their own investigator to go check out the house in the first place, because the motherfucker he left his costume in the middle of literally in a dingy ass box underneath his bed, where his wife was like, "Go ahead, go check it. I don't give a shit." I mean, I told him to stop fucking doing it, but clearly he didn't stop doing it. So why the fuck fuck it? You know what I'm saying? Clearly he's not making a secret, so why should I keep a secret? And for them to find out that that's what he was and that's who he is, it kind of makes the whole anti-vigilante situation even that much harder for him, because they're going to try to throw the book at his ass, because this is the first case under this new non-vigilante law. And also he killed a fucking cop. Or also he's being accused of killing a cop. And that situation is crazy, dog. That was a great deal. Man, this show is fucking good. I just like the dialogue. The second episode, I like that we're building a story, and which we should. That's what we have to do. We got to build the story throughout the second episode. And Matt gets on a date with his new lawyer partner, her best friend. He goes on a date with her, and I like what she said. I like how they got mistakenly set up. First of all, secondly, I like that it's I like when she said, "Yeah, I don't date lawyers." He literally said, "Why?" Because y'all argumentative. I mean, what's wrong with being a lawyer? I mean, Exhibit A. I loved it, man. She's going to be good for him. That's a fucking lie. She's not going to be good for him. It should have been Karen. Let's just be real. It should be Karen and him. We all know this. Or Electra. It should be Electra and him, for real. But I think in this universe, is Electra dead, or is she part of the Hand still? I gotta rewatch this shit. Oh man, she was badass as Electra too. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad. Continuing on. Sorry, y'all. If you haven't watched the original series, yes, Electra does show up as a part of the Hand, and also her and Matt do have a relationship for a little while there, literally 2 or 3 episodes. Okay, continuing on. Actually, it might be a little longer than that. Actually, it probably is a little longer than that, actually. Okay, continue on. Sorry about that. We're gonna stay on track. She happens to be a psychiatrist. And or therapist, whatever the fuck you want to say. Therapist. No, she's a therapist. And so the last scene, one of the last scenes that we see of Wilson Fisk is him and his wife are having marriage counseling. Now, we thought it was weird that one of Wilson's main guys was at her book signing, and then we also had the weird kid that also was at her book signing, hey, can I, schedule a visit or whatever? And she's like, yeah, here you go. Here's my number. You're just giving out your random number to weird, creepy kids now? That's just fucking interesting. But she is a therapist, so I guess that kind of tracks. Apparently this kid is going to be Muse, which is kind of interesting. I have to read more up on Muse. Apparently he has an obsession with vigilantes. He's the one that you guys see doing a mural at the end of the episode. I think he does a couple murals throughout these 2 episodes. And he's very important in the fucking DareDevil universe. So yeah, I should probably know this. Yeah, I'm not a big comic book reader. Okay, not the biggest of DareDevil comic book readers. Actually, this is a comic book series. Just in case people don't know, Daredevil Born Again is a comic book series of Daredevil. So I actually went and saw the paperback for it, because clearly it's one of the biggest things in Space Cadet Collection has the book in the fucking what's the word as a display. It's displayed out there, and I was like, I didn't know this was actually a comic book run. Okay, we might have to do this. So yeah, Muse becomes very important later on. We haven't seen him yet, But yeah, he's like a vigilante, like obsession serial killer type deal. Like he paints the blood of his victims in the canvas or in his murals and shit like that. It's very fucking interesting. Okay, continuing on. Yeah, before we get to get ultra weird. Also, we get to see Matt listen to Wilson finally win the managerial race. And it was kind of like, I like this because once again, I know I'm going to quote Comicast again, which is Michael Carroll. It looked like Matt was just like, by 53%, Wilson Fisk is the new new mayor of New York. And he's just like, quick sigh. Okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? And his girl almost gets ran over. He said, nope. Stay right here. Already see it. See it coming. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see it. Karen heard it coming. And it pretty much was everything like, well, I guess we got another 4 years of this bullshit. And it's not starting off right. So, but we're not talking politics right now. My bad. Sorry. My bad. Not talking about politics. But seriously though, we see Matt pretty much getting stared down by Wilson Fisk as he's walking throughout the streets. And that's what we get to see. And then lastly, what I wanted to talk about was the fight scene between him and two undercover cops. Holy shit. That was a great fucking fight. That was a classic Daredevil fight scene. Now, it's not a hallway fight scene. I'm sorry, still my favorite fight scene of all time is the first hallway fight scene for him. I know I keep saying this is what made Daredevil a very famous show. Is when the motherfucker went door to door and beat the ever living shit out of this whole entire gang inside of this warehouse throughout a whole fucking, like he was going door to door fighting like 3 or 4 dudes. Like one of them you just see the dude falling through, like goes through on the wall and Matt's just punch him in the face. And then you see another one where a guy's like on Matt's back and he's beating the shit out, like on Daredevil's back. He's beating the shit out of one of them with like just, it's, if you guys get a chance, please, if you have not watched the original one, it is on Disney Plus. I think, and I'm pretty sure, the original series started off on Netflix, by the way. So it might still be on Netflix. If you get a chance, please, as a friendly reminder, go fucking do this. Because you might be a little lost. But I'm sitting here, I'm watching it, and I'm just like, this dude beats. I mean, he tries not to fight the cops. He's like, all right, look, listen. I already told the dude to jump out the window. I'm a lawyer. If I don't show up, you're practically fucked. I don't know why you're doing this. And so, he doesn't really resist, but like, he gets a little pissed off. He gets punched in the face, loses his glasses, which are sweet fucking glasses. I'll be pretty pissed off about it if he could see. And he sits back up. He's like, oh, this shit's getting real. And just remember, Matt has, and this is Matt in this situation, he's not Daredevil right now. Matt in this situation is like, all right, guys, listen, leave me the fuck alone. That's all I want to do. I don't want to be any problems. Once he hears that sound and he doesn't see red, but he probably feels red. And you just be like, oh, okay. So I see this shit isn't going the way that I wanted to go. And I need to let off some fucking anger. I have a year's worth of anger to beat the shit out of somebody with. That's what that was. That was a year's worth of anger of wanting to fuck someone up, and he hasn't been, and he kept himself from doing it. And all that pent up rage came out on those two fucking cops, where he beat the shit out of them. Also, when he slammed the one on the neck, pretty sure he's dead. If he's still alive when he slammed the one on his neck, I'm surprised. And you can just feel the 1 year of like dealing with Foggy's death, losing Karen, seeing Bullseye in the courtroom. Once again, this is the only reason why we know. Oh, and this is the second only reason why we know Bullseye is still fucking alive. And you know what I'm saying? Not being Daredevil for a year, he's probably been listening to people crying out for help, because you hear it while he's at the when he's on the streets after the win, where he hears the lady yelling out help. He hears the dude yelling and stuff like that, like help this, that, and him not doing anything about it, and him not being able to physically feel like he can do anything about it. And for him to think that as Daredevil he crossed the line, you know, all that anger, all that hearing that shit has to be bottled up. All of it came out in that moment. And then it came out even more when he did that primal fucking yell. Like, and that's the end of the episode where he yells like that. That's a primal yell. And you get to see that. And you can feel that shit throughout that whole scene. I forgot if there's music or not. And if there isn't, perfect. Because we got to be able to feel that. I said this before. I say this all. Music in certain scenes is not needed. It isn't needed at all. We just need that the situation. Like I said with Warrior. I've talked about this before. But with Warrior, they turned off the music when Assam had to fight Young Jun and Han. He fought them both inside that room. Like, you're watching three brothers have to fight each other. You know what I'm saying? Or fighting each other. And you make your own emotion in this situation. There's no music. There's nothing. For a good maybe 2 to 3 minutes, this fight is going on. You know what I'm saying? For this good, like maybe 30 seconds to a minute, this dude is fighting these two dudes. And he's fighting them like he has been pent up anger for this whole year. Remember, oh my bad, I forgot to tell you guys, there is a time jump after Foggy dies to where Matt, you know what I mean, to where we're at right now. And so you're watching this and you're just feeling this dude finally kind of dealing with his friend's death properly. He probably hasn't really been able to fucking let it off. And then you just heard your mortal enemy become the mayor of your city. And the first thing he enacts is a anti-vigilante fucking law. That's the first thing you see. And for the past year, your super hearing has probably been hearing people yell out screaming for help. All of that coincided in that 1 minute. All of that was let out in that 1 minute. And we got to see that and feel that shit. And just the yell alone. And Charlie Cox is such a good fucking actor, dog. He was born to play Matt Murdock. He was born to play fucking Daredevil for that moment alone. So for anybody that's sitting here saying we're not getting enough action, we didn't need it yet. He's not Daredevil. He's still Matt Murdock. He's still Matt Murdock. We have to understand he turned into Matt Murdock when Foggy fucking died. He turned into the lawyer, to the nice guy, to all this shit, the nice, cool blind guy that doesn't fight anyone, only fights crime in the courtroom. That's the guy that we got when he threw fucking Bullseye off the roof. Yes, we're not going to have the action that we deserve. I mean, the action that we want. We have to go back and earn that shit again. We got it. At the end of that episode, we had to earn it again. So, I think Karen wanted him to stay as Daredevil, still fight crime. I think that she lost both her friends that night. He lost both of his friends that night. And I just, her going to San Francisco is a telltale sign that, you know, she's hurting. She's still hurting. It still hurts them. They were together. Like, you have to understand, they've been working together for so many years that they turned into a brother sisterhood. You know what I'm saying? And they turned into family. And a family member just got shot in the fucking chest. And they had to watch that. And so to watch that scene and you also have to remember, like I always will continue to say, Matt had to hear Foggy die. Karen got to see Foggy die in front of their face while trying to bring him back to life. So they both have different angles of how they saw Foggy die. And that's probably where the disconnect is. Because she can't connect on the level of, I had to hear his last fucking breaths. To where he can't connect to her level where I can't see his last fucking breaths. I can't look into his eyes and know and try to tell him everything's going to be okay. I can't tell him. So that's where I think the disconnect is between those two. That's where I think Matt was like, kind of went into his own recluse area for that long ass time. Even though he did try to reach out afterwards, it was too late. She needed him. She needed him the most at that time. And he needed her the most, and he just didn't know it. So I am enjoying this show right now. I think they have done a great job with building the characters back up, building the story back up, and making us more intrigued and giving us theories, giving us all the rest of this shit. And they got so many more episodes to go that I'm so fucking excited to watch. So I was not really supposed to go this long, but I did anyway because I don't give a fuck. Lastly, I like to say I love that she gave him his horn that he lost, the other horn that he lost on the cow, and pretty much him saying pretty much I don't need this shit, but he's going to need it later on. He's going to put the suit back on, of course, and I can't wait to see John Bernthal's Punisher because that's my guy. John Bernthal was there. I don't know how, except for Iron Fist, everybody from that Netflix universe was born to play the roles they played. Michael Coulter was supposed to be Luke Cage. Don't give a shit what you think about the last season. He was born to be Luke Cage. Yeah, he was. And isn't it interesting that his show Evil somehow had their series finale a couple months ago? Isn't it a little strange? Little strange that his show went off pretty recently. And isn't it also strange that Kristen Ritter's was the last time I've seen her was in Sonic. It's the last time I've seen Kristen Ritter, aka Jessica Jones. Isn't it interesting that I haven't seen Finn Jones in shit? I don't know why that was interesting for all of us. My bad. That was mean. It was mean, but it's true. Like, he was just not a good Iron Fist. I'll hope that Shang-Chi somehow shows up, but hey, man, he's apparently in San Francisco, even though he's part of Dial H for Heroes. Figure that fuck out. So yeah. Yeah. You know what's weird? Hold on. My bad. And this is it. How the fuck did he not go see Karen while he was in San Francisco with what's her name? She-Hulk. Damn, he's a dickhead. He's one of those friends that will show up to your town and not say a word to you and then tell you later on, yeah, you know where I was at? You know, as a matter of fact, I was in your town. Where did you live again? San Francisco? I was just there like a week ago. Motherfucker, you knew that I was there the whole fucking time. You ain't come say hi? You piece of shit. You one of those friends. You went and got some Medusi. You got some Medusi out there and you forgot about me, huh? Damn. Ain't that a fucking... What the fuck is going on right now? So you came into the town and not say a word? You motherfucker. You motherfucker. Yeah, so, yeah, that's pretty much where we're at with Daredevil Born Again. Because that's a little fucked up. I ain't gonna lie to you. But, all right, so, once again, where you find the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, YouTube, and anywhere you can find your podcast needs. That's where you can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, where you find latest updates to the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Finest. And I'm telling you, the second installment of Stories from the Woods will be coming out on Friday on Patreon. Please understand, viewer discretion is advised. Mostly, I don't give a fuck. Okay, that's pretty much where we're at with it. So, with that, I would like to say, I love you guys so much. thank you so much for your support. You guys are beautiful. I'm telling you, we're going to be a lot more fucking consistent with the pod. I promise. And with that, I'd like to say, love all you guys. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'll catch you guys later. Deuces.